Do you look at your mountain of goals and feel stuck?
Or have you already achieved great things and yet you know there's still more?
Then you've come to the right place.
We're here to offer practical tools and tangible strategies to change your mindset.
And challenge you to produce a life beyond the norm.
I'm Nate.
I'm Laura.
Welcome to the Transcendence Podcast. So there's a fine line that we grow up dancing on, and that's that fine line of, are you being confident or are you being cocky? Because everybody wants confidence. We're always drilled in our head, oh, you need confidence, especially when you start getting into the workplace or in school. Hey, you need to be confident in yourself. You need to be confident when you go in your interview. You need to speak with authority, right? But then people are also really quick to say, he's cocky, all he does is brag, and they put you down and say, hey, you need to humble yourself. You can't be too proud. So I think there's this really fine line of what is cocky and what is confident. And to me, it's really the difference of being able to talk the talk and being able to walk the walk.
Yeah.
And being able to actually back up, what you say you can accomplish. And I think that's a major difference between cocky and confident. So I think it's important to differentiate the two because you can't just avoid it altogether. There's a lot of benefits to being confident. You don't want to have a lack of confidence in what you do or who you are in your day-to-day life. So what do you get from being confident? Confident more than likely will gain you more respect, especially from the people that are also confident. You're going to gain more respect in the workplace. You're going to gain more respect in your group of friends. You're going to gain more respect on your team. If you're in a sports team or in a team at work, you're going to gain more respect in general when you're seen as a confident person, because people usually have a sense of confident people are able to accomplish things.
Right. And I think we all can think in our mind of those confident people in our life and who those people are and why we admire them so much. When they walk in the room, they have their shoulders held back and there's a big distinction when you can see confidence versus cockiness. And I think it's very apparent what side of the spectrum they can land on.
The other important thing is confidence is going to bring you more gratitude. It helps you stay in that contentment more.
Yeah.
When you're more confident, you are content with where you're at. And like we talked about last week, it makes it easier to not stay satisfied either. And confidence also just helps achieve your goals. If you're confidently working on your goal, you're usually working with a lot of efficiency and you're usually working with a lot of mission and purpose and drive. But if you're not confident in your goal, and you're not confident in the outcome, you're not going to work confidently and you're also going to hold back. And that's where you tend to exaggerate things to try to make up for that lack of efficiency so other people can see you as, someone that still works hard. So it's important that you have confidence. Now, keep in mind, confidence is also a byproduct. Confidence is not an end result that you get. Confidence is something you get from chasing other things. So it's important to keep in mind, it's things like being more grateful, being more content will bring more confidence in your life. Becoming an expert in a subject or in a field,
right?
You're going to get more confidence because you're an expert. You know more than the general public on that subject or field. If you do things repetitively, you'll eventually get more confident in the way you can do them. It's like watching a chef. If you've ever watched a chef chop up a carrot versus your average person chop up a carrot, they're a lot more confident because they've had way more repetitions doing it.
Yeah.
And they'll chop up 10 carrots by the time a normal person can chop up one.
Right.
And that's just comes from repetition. So you get more confidence the more you do something. So if you have a lack of confidence in a certain area of your life, what you first need to do is clarify what you actually want, right? What does it look like for you? So say you have a lack of confidence with your self-image, right? You first need to figure out what image do you want. Maybe it's losing weight. Okay, well then you need to commit to losing weight. It's going to take courage to lose weight because you actually have to do something that you're not good at, right? Then you have to be consistent at doing it. When you're consistent at doing it, you become competent. And when you carry out that consistency, competence eventually turns into confidence. Because by doing it over and over again, you're going to become confident in it. And when you become confident in it, that allows you to take control of that struggle and actually fulfill it and reach your goal. And that's why confidence helps bring that goal to fruition. I want to give you a clear understanding on how the two show up differently so you can find out, am I showing up confident or am I showing up cocky, or am I scared of showing up cocky so I'm not showing up confident, I'm not doing either, right? Because that's just as bad as being cocky.
Right.
So confidence is being able to hold yourself up. It's being able to know what you're good at. It's being able to be self-aware, and it's being able to know and take responsible and ownership for what you've accomplished and what you can accomplish.
It's believing in yourself while having the tools to back it up, whereas cockiness is doing the same thing but not having the tools to back it up. Cockiness
is putting others down to hold yourself up. You're only holding yourself up by standing on the head of others and holding them down. That becomes very apparent whenever someone walks into a room and instead of talking about how good they did, they talk about how much they did better than that person. That's a difference of confidence and cockiness. Say you're really good at sales, right? And if you walk in the room and you talk about hey, I hit my goal and I did this and I was able to accomplish this, it's a lot different than walking in and saying, hey, this person only did this and I did this because I'm better than them. It's a completely different thing. And one's putting others down and holding yourself up, and one's being confident in what you accomplished and how you accomplished the goal that you set out. And not to say that competition's bad. Competition is a good thing. Healthy competition can, breed better results. But it's important that at the end of the competition that you can be confident in your victory versus bragging and boastful in your victory. So confidence is being also proud of what you accomplished. Cockiness is exaggerating what you accomplished. That's when boasting comes about. I think I said it last episode or maybe a few episodes ago, it's not bragging if it's true. You can be proud of what you have accomplished and what you've done, and it's not bragging at all if it's actually true. As long as you're not exaggerating numbers, as long as you're not exaggerating the impact or the value it had, it's true. You can be confident in that and you can be proud of that. And it's important to own that. It's important to be proud of that. It's important as a leader, if your team accomplishes something great, that you take a moment to set aside time to let them feel the pride of doing that. Because too many people have grown up saying, hey, don't be too proudful, don't be boastful, and diminishing the pride and the confidence that they've tried to build up from accomplishing great things. It's not natural for us to grow up and have a lack of confidence. A lack of confidence is something that's been instilled in us because people are always worried about, I don't want to have the kid that brags, And I think it's important that if it's true, own it. Be proud of it. Be able to state it.
And usually the people that misinterpret that as cockiness are the ones that lack confidence themselves. They feel inferior to whatever your accomplishment was or whatever you're talking about.
Now, on the counter side of that, if you feel the need to exaggerate what just happened or exaggerate your accomplishment or add fluff to it, then that's going to come from insecurity. That's cockiness. Whenever you start to just take it to a whole new level and exaggerate all the numbers and make it seem bigger than what it actually was. You can be proud of something you accomplished. And like I said, it's not bragging if it's true. It's not boasting if it's true. It's owning what you've accomplished and knowing that you had a major impact in that. And there's nothing wrong with that. And a lot of people respect you for being able to do that. It's the people that glorify it more than what it is, and people know that they're lying. Another big difference between the two is confidence comes from contentment. It comes from joy. It's rooted in joy. It's rooted in the pride of being able of what you accomplished and what you can accomplish. Whereas cockiness is rooted in insecurity, which is rooted in fear. You're scared that you're falling behind. So confident people, they know their potential. They know what they've done and they know where they can go and they know what they need to do to achieve what they have the potential to achieve. Whereas cocky people feel that they're falling behind, so feel that they need to act a certain way to still be seen as successful or still be seen as on par. Whereas confident people are okay to be like, no, I need help in this area because I'm falling behind in this area. They know where they're at. They're very self-aware and they're very sure of themselves enough to be able to go after what they want.
And I'll say the big difference too is confident people are willing to ask for help, whereas your cocky people, they don't want to ask for help. They're going to just try to do it all by themselves to the best of their capability. But there's something so significant about someone who has a confidence that is still willing to learn from those who are further along in life, who are further along in a skill that they want to acquire, and ask for tools, ask for help. I think that speaks volumes about someone who is willing to ask for help.
I think the thing to keep in mind too is when you're a confident person and when you have that self-confidence, you can ask for help for people who may not always be further in life. And when I say further in life, I mean physically further in life. There are times where you're going to ask for help from a younger person. There's times where you're going to ask for help for maybe an employee underneath of you. Because though that you may have more experience in that career or you may have more experience on this planet, they may have more experience in that subject. A confident person is able to see different subjects and say, hey, that person's further along in this subject, even though I might be further along in these other 10, I'm going to ask for their help here. And they'll probably ask for my help in the other 10. You're not lowering your credibility because you ask for help from somebody that is better at one subject than you. So don't always feel like you have to find someone that's better in every way to ask for help. Find someone that's better at what you're trying to accomplish and ask for help there. So another big thing, and Laura kind of mentioned it, is there's going to be times where you may actually be in confidence, not cockiness. There's going to be times where you may not put anybody else down. You may just be telling the truth and not bragging and being proud of what you accomplished, and other people may still say you're cocky. Chances are that's coming from an insecurity that they have, that they don't know how to deal with someone that's actually confident because they're not confident. And that just tells you that you may need to expand the circle of your friends. You may need to spend more time with people that are more confident in what they're good at and what they can accomplish. Because if you're spending time with people that have a lack of confidence, eventually you may start listening to the lies that's saying, hey, you're acting cocky, and now you're just diminishing your confidence, even though you were never cocky to begin with. And a lot of that comes from an insecurity that, like I said, they have. So I say this all the time, and Laura always laughs, but I've developed a lot of confidence, especially in the past couple years. And some people will say, Nate, you're so extra, or you always go over the top.
Or you're too much.
You're too much. And I'll laugh. And Laura always knows, I always say it to her. I'm like, hey, I'll always be too much for those who don't have enough. If people aren't confident, they're always going to see me as cocky because they're fighting with their own insecurities. Now, if I get around other high performers that are confident in what their ability is, they're like, okay, this guy belongs at the table because I have the same confidence they have. Now, we may have it in different subjects. We may have it in different, specialties, or we may have it in different areas of life, but we all have a mutual agreement that we are self-aware and we are confident at what we're good at. And the people that can't get to that point are the people that are going to deem everybody as cocky and not really have a true understanding of the difference between the two. And really, if you're in that place of life and you feel like you're constantly just telling everyone they're cocky and you have a lack of confidence, go back to what we said. Find the area that you want more confidence in, clarify what it looks like, commit to accomplishing that, get the courage to start, be consistent in doing it, become competent, keep that consistency up, become confident, and you'll actually control that area of your life. And then you're going to sit at the table and be like, oh yeah, this person wasn't cocky. They're just confident in what they can actually do because they know their potential. And now you know your potential. And now you can accomplish all that you want to. So as you go through the rest of your day, or if you go through the rest of your week or the rest of this year, be intentional on being confident and not being cocky. Make sure when you're saying something that you're proud of the facts, not exaggerating it. Make sure that when you're being confident and in the moment, that you're not putting others down to do it. Don't ever lean to that cockiness, and don't ever lean to no confidence at all. You have to have confidence in what you're doing to accomplish great things and produce the value that you have the potential to produce. Because the truth is, everybody has a ton of potential to produce universal value in the world. But if you're not confident in yourself and your ability to do it, you'll never reach it. And if you're stuck on the insecurities of what you're not good at and start filling it with cockiness, you're never going to gain the respect to reach it. And you have to have the confidence in order to accomplish something big.
Thank you so much for joining us on this week's episode. We hope that you've learned something new, that you feel challenged, and are inspired to live a life beyond the norm.
If something in this episode stuck out to you, be sure to screenshot the podcast, post it on Instagram, and tag us in it. Let us know what captivated you.
And speaking of Instagram, we would love to connect with you and let you be the first to know about our new episodes and exciting updates.
If you found value in this podcast, be sure to leave us a rating or review. This will allow us to expand our reach and let others know that they can benefit from this podcast as well.
We appreciate you spending your time with us, and we can't wait to be with you again soon.
Join us next time as we continue to live a life beyond the norm.